If you didn't hate me before, you don't hate me now. You telling yourself it's for all your people. You do this shit, lies become the truth.
We got money on those streets. We need to protect it.
You ain't never had an enemy like me, Kanan.
I had you as an enemy my whole life.
Your mom's is out the game. Everybody else need to get the out the way.
Can't live with him. Can't live with him.
This is a Southside Jamaica Queen story.
Let's see. Could be wrong. However, I came up with my own conclusions instead of copying or piggybacking off someone. I don't know what your point of view saying is. I don't really care. Anyways.
Who's saying that?
The bargains.
Oh.
Because this is the thing. Some people be copying people. I agree with that. A lot of people do. But also, you got to go with, people could be just going with what makes sense, and you just be trying to come up with something and hope it lands. It's like Buckets be saying he be throwing shit on the wall, hoping it land, hoping it stick. And some of the time, the shit just makes sense. Me, I'm always go with what I believe. You know, some of the times it so happen to align with other people. But if it check out to be right, then nigga, it could be just that we both thought what made the most sense and was right about it. We all know I don't been wrong about shit. We know that.
I just like for
what? I'm laughing at the list. She said, "DeMarcus, you got some theories for movie by lying." Oh shit. What theories did he get from the movie? Both parents could lead in the middle and lead back to Snaps and Pop, and Garcia leading into the Howard / Kanan connection, right back to Detective Shannon Burt's case. Yeah, that dude, they all are connected. Now, check this out. So, we all know that Snaps and Pops said they got rid of Famous and Crystal because, you know, they were pretty much liabilities. You know, they were people that could end up tracing back to them. So, that's why they ultimately decided to get rid of them. Could we potentially see their nephew Breeze doing the same thing? Because let's say, Damon, let's say you do turn out to be right about something. If all of those connections tie back to Snaps and Pop, then it's also going to tie to Breeze. And you know, Breeze already done told us, we agree on business, we agree on everything. So he could look at it as this is business, and these old ass out the way anyway, like he said in the trailer. And well, it was a teaser that we saw that he said that. So it could be his incentive to go ahead and get rid of his uncle and auntie. The final could ask Breeze and Kanan could set Phil Russo on fire to get rid of the evidence. Now, see, it's supposed to be looking for Howard's killer. That's what the captain told him to do. How does that other stuff matter? Well, guess what he's saying is that all of that being lined up, it ultimately will get back to Burke, and Burke is connected to Howard. That's why I'm guessing he's going with it.
But everybody was satisfied that Burke was a suicide.
Yeah, but you know, remember once the father got back into the equation, he told them it wasn't a suicide. And remember, they were able to connect Howard to some shady business. And of course, unfortunately, Howard ended up getting killed before they was able to really, you know, investigate it the way they wanted to. So technically, it's all connected.
Yeah, we know it's connected, but I'm talking about that last conversation with what was his name? Baptiste.
Mm-hmm.
It was something they said about the suicide, and they brushed that idea aside. Still, it was all about finding Howard's killer. He's not trying to prove that Burke didn't commit suicide.
Yeah.
But they know Howard was murdered.
I made my comment before I saw you doing something that has to happen. I'm not against your theory. We'll see. Okay. Movie by get his theories from you. God damn.
You're gonna put hitters all over us.
So here's the cops that we're talking about. You know, with Kane and them with their hands up here, and if you see the background, that is 30% Kanan's apartment. So when Kanan, we see Kanan them with their hands up, that's them.
Yeah, I think them the ones Rock had.
It is.
Okay.
I watched a movie by earlier, and he said that thing about Rock sending the Jags to rob and raid. Yeah, this is one of the ones that's just obvious. Like the moment I seen that, I knew it was. I mean, that this is one that's not a miss. So yeah, obviously Rock, went and hired them to go at Kane. So what's going on here with Marv? Could this be the shootout with Breeze maybe? And then Breeze was like, we was having fun. He's in the shootout with somebody.
Marvin got so many issues. It's hard to say.
Yeah, this trash out.
Because he got problems from the Italians over the Capo de Tuesday stuff. And
all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to these early predictions because we kind of been on this stuff. We was on exclusive photos for a little minute.
we talked a lot about Unique Noses Kanan too.
Yeah. We kind of did cover a lot of this, but my predictions though, early predictions for next episode right now. Jukebox is going to be investigating, and probably towards the end of the episode, she's going to discover something major. It's going to kind of let her know, kind of got something to do with this. Because, right now, she got speculation and formed a hypothesis of it. But now, towards the end, something's gonna happen that she's gonna be like, "Yeah, it's no way. This is what happened. That nigga did something. Rock probably just covered it up." And another thing, obviously, we've seen the situation with Kanan and Unique, and I guess I'll go ahead and combine this together with the Unique knows it's Kanan situation. It's kind of pretty much linked together. So one of the things that I got that I think could potentially be the reason Unique figures this out. Remember, when Unique and Breeze was talking, Unique was talking to him about, him Kanan being part of, the Thomas family. And Lou just died. So he was looking at that, wondering if it's a concern or not. And Breeze responded to him and said, I was just with Kanan. He said, it's not an issue. I was just with Kanan. He didn't even mention his own, right? Mm-hmm. So the fact that he said that, Unique probably formed his hypothesis then, was like, so you telling me this nigga uncle just died and he didn't even mention it? Yeah, something up. And then also, he might be like, okay, so Rock ain't that mad about it, but Marvin is. He might notice that, and if he puts two and two together and then approach Kanan with it and just wait on his reaction, and his reaction could tell him everything he needs to know. So that's why he went to him face to face so that he could see what his reaction would be. Because I think he probably was a little curious, like this nigga shouldn't be this cool about his uncle being killed. Unless he got something to do with it.
I kind of that's all plausible, but I disagree just a little bit. Yeah, I know if he confronts Kanan, he's gonna check for certain reactions. But as far as him being like unemotional about it, now see, I think Breeze appreciated that because you remember when Kanan fell out over Fame when he found out Famous was dead, and he had this emotional breakdown, and what the narrator OG Kanan was saying in the background about feelings and being weak. See, so I could see, even if he really was grieving Lou, that when it came to business, he wouldn't show it.